Okay, so this one's like notably the worst, like out of the trilogy, right? Obviously, everyone knows it. You and I both know it, but I don't think it's as bad as you remember. Spider-Man 3 was released in 2007. It was written by Sam Raimi and Ivan Raimi and Alvin Sargent, who also helmed the writing of the second film. And it's directed by Sam Raimi, of course. Now, of course, we can talk about the clusterfuck of villains and the no one cares about the black symbiote suit of Spider-Man. I'm not going to talk about most of those, okay, because you already know what you thought about those. I want to talk about individual villains and why I think that each of them is pretty good, and why I think that the Peter Parker arc in this is actually not as bad as you might remember. So, let's talk about the villains first, okay? First of all, Sandman. Now, I think Doc Ock is probably the most well-done villain of the entire trilogy, but I gotta say, Sandman is my favorite, and I just feel for him so much, right? We know immediately what his problem is. He has a daughter who is sick, and he wants to give her money. He accidentally becomes Sandman. He just made poor choices, and now he's this big bad guy, but he's not really a bad guy. He's, obviously he's, stealing money, and that's bad. But he's not really doing anything super awful. I mean, yeah, he kind of killed Uncle Ben, but he feels bad about it every single day. And that is why he is such a fantastic character. Like, I really do believe that Sandman is the best character in the trilogy. But the only issue is that he didn't get a whole lot of screen time. No one cared about Sandman. They wanted more Venom, and I couldn't get enough of Sandman. And oh my goodness, the opening Sandman sequence when he's like becoming Sandman for the first time is the best thing in the whole world. I love it so much. And the CGI definitely has advanced enough to be able to do that, and that was nice. I am excited to see what they do in No Way Home for him, because I bet it's going to be pretty cool. But I do really love him, and I think Thomas Hayden Church did a fantastic job portraying this. I do hope he comes back, because he was really, really good as Sandman. I love the character arc from just being a good bad guy to being a bad good guy. Like, I love that transition. I think it's beautiful. Venom, Eddie Brock, was really bad. First of all, the people that were I've seen a lot of people who are like, oh, they didn't even call him Venom. He's not actually Venom. He's listed in the credits as Venom. They said I didn't read the actual credits. I read about halfway towards the bottom. It said Venom costume, designed by, and then gave it a name. So it definitely is Venom, in case you were curious. But it's a very bad version of Venom. The adaptation for this is really bad. And I feel like it could have worked if it just wasn't cheesy, and they didn't show him enough. I feel like if they gave us more of it, it might have actually been okay. More or less. You can't do both. The exact amount of Venom in this film was awful. Like, it was like, they're throwing this horrible CGI garbage mask thing in our face, and it's like, please stop. Anything else? I will say that I was terrorized by this image of him when he's in the church and he goes back and goes, right? I was terrorized as a child. I saw this in the drive-in. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget that day. I cried all day to get my mom to drive me to the drive-in to see this movie. Oh man, you have no idea. What a day. But then we got there, and then that happens, and I'm like freaking out. It was so scary. Good thing Spider-Man won at the end. But I don't know. I didn't think it was a very good job. I don't think the guy who played Eddie Brock was any good. He's more of a comedic actor in general anyway. So please keep it that way. He's not good in this situation. I did not like him at all as this character, Topher Grace. Not my Venom. Please not my Venom. The next villain we have, which again, the clusterfuck of villains, is Green Goblin, I guess. It's the second Green Goblin. Harry Osborn, played by what's his face? James Franco. And I think James Franco is fantastic. He's a great actor. And I think he did bring something to Green Goblin that we didn't get before. And that was just kind of a little bit more humanity, right? Whereas in the first one, we see that, Willem Dafoe becomes crazy because of the serum. Here, it's not amplifying any craziness. It's not making him crazy. He's just stronger. And he just hates Spider-Man. And he hates Peter because he killed his father. But once he realizes he didn't, he comes to the help of everyone, and it's sweet. It really is sweet. I like it a lot. I think it's a good character arc. I like how, in the end, he does the thing where he doesn't exist anymore. But I like it in general. I think it's a really, really good character arc. I really appreciate it. I don't anticipate seeing him in No Way Home. I could be wrong, but I don't anticipate seeing him. Peter Parker's arc in general I thought was really cool, where he got the black symbiote suit, he became an asshole, and then they had that weird meme thing where he was like dancing. we're not going to talk about that. We know it's bad. I'm talking about the good parts here, which is I like how he discovers himself, right? He takes off the suit, he feels lighter, he feels happier, he's ready to... It's like a Horcrux in Harry Potter. And he just feels better, and he's able to save the city. And he realizes that saving the city is more important than his love for MJ. And yes, this happens in every comic. He realizes it is far more important to do that than his own love. He sacrifices his entire life just to be Spider-Man, to save other people. And I love that. I'm going to stop wasting all of your time. I think this is a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun talking about this. If you want more videos about Spider-Man in general, let me know. I realize I didn't talk a whole lot about the movie itself, but I felt like talking about the characters in these movies is more important than talking about the actual movies themselves. But I'm going to go ahead and give Spider-Man 3 a B. Have you guys seen Spider-Man 3? Let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought about it. I think it's better than I remember, but it's definitely memeable for sure. And please consider subscribing and liking the video. Subscribing helps a whole lot. Once we get to 200, I'm going to be doing an 8-hour-long live variety show that you're not going to miss. So definitely consider subscribing. It's a huge, huge, huge help. You have no idea. And as always, keep watching movies and television to stay educated, and I'll see you guys in the next video.